I started using the jump rope 12 years ago, and I was able to quickly increase my skills and abilities by quite a bit in the first 6 months. And the reason that I was able to do that was because I focused in 2 specific areas. See, the problem with most beginners with jump rope are they go into every jump rope session or workout with no plan of attack. They're doing it mindlessly, just going in there, swinging the rope and hoping for the best. Well, what I quickly realized was I wanted to perform at a higher level, and I started watching whatever existed on YouTube at the time, which, by the way, was not a lot. And there was a few guys and some boxers that were really good at jumping. They weren't really high skill levels as far as tricks and stuff, but they were mostly just really consistent in their jumping, and they rarely tripped up. And so I started to ask myself, as I would watch these guys, why is it that I'm tripping up so much and these guys rarely do? What are they doing different than me that I need to start doing? So I started to analyze these guys as they were jumping in their videos. First off, their ropes were sized to them. I hadn't sized my rope, and that was causing me problems. Now, I'm not going to get into the in-depth descriptions of how to size your rope. I've done that in another video, and I'll have it linked at the end of this one for you. And as I was watching these guys, I realized another thing, was that they were incredibly consistent in their form and technique. In other words, they were moving less than I was. And what I mean by that was they weren't waving their arms to rotate the rope around their body. They were rotating just with their wrists. Their hands were down towards their hips, and that's where they stayed. They maintained the same posture throughout their jumping. Even if they went into skills like a crisscross or whatever, when they would open back up into a regular straight single under jump, they were in the same exact position that they were. And so I knew that I needed to practice this same aspect. I needed to jump with a very conscientious way, mindful way of maintaining the same form the entire time I was jumping. Now, this isn't easy when you're starting out, and don't expect to be good at it, because I wasn't. But one of the biggest things that helped me in this process was jumping in front of a mirror. A mirror gives you immediate feedback, if it's possible. You get to see immediately if one arm starts to raise out to the side higher, if you need to keep your hands down more towards your hips, if one wrist stops rotating, or if you're jumping and kicking your feet up, you get to immediately see those things and start correcting them. Now, the second best way to do it is recording with your phone or a video camera, and especially in slow motion. This allows you to, when you start to hit those trip ups, now you can turn on the camera, start shooting, and specifically in the slow motion or something, so you can capture it and find out what aspect of your form or technique is breaking down that you need to focus on while you're jumping in order to fix that trip up. Now, something to note here is that this is not just like one-time thing. This isn't every single time I go to jump rope, I'm working on this. And I've done it for 12 years now. And so when I look at myself from 10 years ago, I can tell a huge difference from my skill level then to now. And that just continuously seems to progress a little bit less now than it did at the beginning. When I was at the beginning, I saw a rapid rise in my skills, but then it kind of just became a gradual increase after that, because now I'm fine-tuning all these little things more and more, adding in new skills, etc. So if you are dealing with trip-ups, the best thing for you to do is start to focus on your form and technique. Really start to maintain the same positioning throughout your jumping, and that's going to help you, guaranteed, to increase your skill level at a higher rate. The other thing you need to do is make sure that you size your jump rope. If you're good with your jump rope sizing, then check out this other video that goes into an in-depth explanation of what happens when your hands drift in different directions and how it affects your rope path, causing you to trip up. I will see you in the next video.